everyone. So today we're going to go over for science period 2 and 6 week 3 of the digital learning answers and review. So I'm going to go through the answers from the packet for science. So we had to read pages 135 through 144 and answer any questions that came up on those pages. So here is page 135. They had a question right here. At any time, if there's a star next to the question, that means that you could have other types of answers, most likely. So if your answer isn't the same as mine, you can always change and update your answer. So for this question, what role does the nervous system play in maintaining homeostasis? Explain. So the nervous system plays a key role. Without it, homeostasis could not happen because there would be no internal response to adjust to stimuli. And then they have a cycle here at the bottom. They gave you an example. Then they wanted us to fill in the blanks here. So for the thirst cycle, so I am thirsty. So you need some water. What do? Well, I start to drink. Then after that, well, I notice that I'm not thirsty any longer. My thirst is satisfied. Awesome. That means you then stop drinking. And then it's a cycle because you most likely will get thirsty again and go through the same cycle. Okay, page 136. How do you think the immune system is affected by stress? Stress can make the body use energy that the immune system needs to fight disease. At the bottom of this page, let me move it back a little bit. What role does homeostasis play in helping your body handle stress and fight disease? So when you are sick, your immune system responds by releasing special cells to fight germs. Once the germs are wiped out, your immune system stops releasing the special cells. Page 137 had a lot of answers because it went through the lesson check. So I'm going to go through the answers. Remember, if there's a star, that means your answer could be different from mine. So for the first one, what is a hormone? A chemical signal released by the endocrine gland to control body functions. Number 2, what are 4 conditions in the body related to maintaining homeostasis? Temperature, energy, water, and physical balance. Number 3, how are chemical signals and electric signals alike? How are they different? So they both control body functions and help the body respond to the environment. Electric signals come from nerves. Chemical signals come from hormones. Number 4, explain how getting sick can affect the body's ability to maintain homeostasis. So this is similar to the other question. So when you get sick, it disrupts homeostasis and makes you feel unwell. Your body's system uses energy to get rid of the virus or bacteria. This can make you feel tired. Number 5, pick one material that is moved within the body by the organ systems. Describe which systems are involved and how they work together. So this one, your answers could vary. So I'm not going to read my answer. I'm just going to show you. You could have a different answer. Number 6, how does the circulatory system interact with other body systems to maintain homeostasis? The circulatory system carries nutrients absorbed by the digestive system and oxygen absorbed by the respiratory system to cells, and takes waste to the lungs and kidneys for excretion by the respiratory and excretory systems. Oh, I'm sorry if that was a little off. Number 7, so they wanted you to make another little model, a cycle, for if you feel hungry. So I feel hungry, I then eat food, I feel full or satisfied, I stop eating. Then the cycle would continue. All right, the bottom of the page, this was actually, your answer could vary from mine. So I'm not going to read it, but I will show you my answer. And if yours was different, that is okay. All right, we're on page 138. So for page 138, these 2 answers could vary. So I'm showing you my answers, but I'm not going to read them because your answers could be different from mine, which is okay. Let's turn the page. So for page 139, again, you could have a different answer from me. So that's why there's a star there. So I'm not going to read it just because I don't want the video to be too long if you had a different answer. but I do want to make sure I show it to you. Okay, we're on page 140. We're almost towards the end. So for the top question, you could actually have different answers here, but this is my answer. But I will go ahead and read my answer for the bottom. Okay, so it says the base word of absorption is absorb. What else can absorb materials? How does this help you understand the term absorption? So actually, your answer may be different from mine here, which is okay, but I'm going to go ahead and read my answer for you anyways. So a sponge can absorb water. This helps me understand that absorption has to do with soaking up materials. All right, for page 141, you had to go to a different website. And this was a little hard to do because at first it said the website wasn't working. Then I clicked something and then it popped up. So if you were unable to do that, that's okay. You can just check my answers. But for the bottom answer, I did write down answers will vary because it just said what else you would like to know about the what is this called? The organic food program for the state, and then its regulations. So if any questions that you had, you would write them here. So I didn't want to give you any questions to ask because our questions that we might want to know about may be different. Okay, for the next one, it was actually giving us more information about sodium intake. So you had to use a calculator because you were getting answers that were pretty large decimals. If you didn't use a calculator, well, most likely you probably had to use a separate paper to show all your work. But if you used a calculator, perfect. I don't think it told us to use a calculator, but you can. So for the first question, it said, according to the nutrition facts for these potato chips, a serving has 170 milligrams of sodium, or 7% of the daily recommended value for an average adult. Based on this information, how many milligrams of sodium should an average adult consume in a day? Show your work. So what we need to do is take the 170 milligrams sodium and we're dividing by the decimal form of 7%, which is 0.07. So once you divide, you can just go ahead and write the average, which would be 2,400 milligrams. Number 2, how many servings of potato chips would it take for you to reach the maximum amount of sodium you should consume in a day? Show your work. So again, we are doing some dividing. So we take the maximum amount of sodium, which was from the previous answer, 2,400, and we are dividing by the 170 to see how many servings will that yield. So that's about 14.11 or 14.11 or 14 and 11 hundredths, and that's 14 servings of chips. Last question. The American Heart Association recommends that adults consume no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day for optimal heart health. How would this change the percentage of the daily value daily recommended value? How many servings of chips would it take to reach the suggested maximum daily value? So we had to do some division again. So I went ahead and divided 170 divided by 1,500, which was the amount of sodium recommended a day, which gave me the decimal form. I had to change that to percentage, which was 11%, and that would be the daily recommended value. Then I went ahead and calculated the maximum value, which I used that 1,500 milligrams. I divided by the 170 in the chips, which came out to 8.82, and that gave me the servings. So the servings of chips, if you only eat the sodium from the chips, it would be 8 servings of chips for that daily maximum. So if you're sitting in front of YouTube or your computer or on your phone eating chips all day right now, most likely you're reaching your value for sodium and you might be going over that value. So be careful. All right. And this is the second to last page. And at the bottom of this page for 143, you could have had different answers. So I'm not going to read my answer to show you. And actually, towards the top of the page, it asked you to fill in the blank circles with either M for mechanical digestion or C for chemical digestion. And the mouth and the stomach actually are both mechanical and chemical. The esophagus, which just helps push that food down, is mechanical. All right, we reached the last page in our reading and our questions, which was page 144. And again, this question your answers could vary. So I went ahead and have my answer here for you to see, but your answer could be different from mine. Okay, I hope you understood this week's reading and the question. Let me know if you have any questions based on the reading or if you had trouble with the questions, and I'll try to help you out. You can always email me, message me on School Loop or on Instagram, and make sure if you haven't been sending in your pictures of the work you have done, please do that. Remember, I will not see you again to collect these packets. So the only way for me to know that you're getting your work done is by you sending me a picture of the work you have done. Okay? So I just want to give you a heads up. And this packet should take you until May 1st. So if you already finished this whole packet, right now you have a break for science. Okay? So until we reach May 1st, you don't have any extra work for science. All right. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next week. Bye.